Okay, let's take a look at some Halloween and monster items. Now I'm carrying my laptop around, so it's going to be a little bit shaky, trying to keep it steady. And we will start over here with the neon green skull from Target. Most people have seen that. And we have John Zachary photo. It's signed, but I think that signature is printed on. I still like it though. And here we go to a couple more things from Target. Here is the crystal ball.
Prepare for a thrilling night.
If it were dark, this would show up a little better, but
Expect tricks and treats galore.
I thought I'd shoot this in the afternoon, and that way there'd be more light in here.
Spooktacular times lie ahead. Trick or treat. Mischief awaits.
Crystal ball from Target, and here is the ghost pumpkin from Target. That lights up, and it's got a motion detector. I'm not going to light all this stuff up. This is an overview. I'm just going to touch on the basics, the broad outlook of it. This is a Jack Davis jointed Frankenstein monster hanger, which I really like a lot. Big Jack Davis fan. And let's start over here and go around the mantle. Start out down here. Okay, this pumpkin in front, I don't know who made that. I bought that years ago. It's got decals instead of paint. Those three stacked up are from Walmart. I picked those up a few days ago just to show the difference between what you used to be able to get like that and what you get now. They were $2 a piece, which isn't bad, but it's twice what they used to be. And the quality control's not as good, and the paint apps aren't as good, and I noticed a lot of them were bent. I think the plastic is not as good. It's probably thinner. So anyway, that's what you get for $1, or for $2. Used to be $1. The big ghost there is from General Foam. Those two, the black and white skull pails, are General Foam. The two really little ones there, I got those at Walmart, I think last year, just to show what you get for $1 now. I mean, I say that, but I collect all this stuff, so, it's just interesting for me, and it displays pretty well. That big pumpkin there at the bottom, bought that at Target like 5-6 years ago, and it was, I think it was $5. You go to buy those now on eBay or whatever, and the shipping, with the shipping cost and the high purchase cost, it's going to be a lot. I'm just glad I got it back then, because I wouldn't pay for them what people want for them now. And in that big pumpkin, I've got 4 of the General Foam regular size candy pails stacked up there. Now, you see the difference between those and those. These were $1. I got them like 6 or 7 years ago. And they had 2 big wire bins full of these. You could buy all you wanted for $1 a piece. And you go to buy them now, and they're a little bit pricey. But they've got different faces, and the paint apps are good, and the quality control was better. I don't know if General Foam makes those newer ones at Walmart or not, but they're not as good. and they're twice as much. And at the bottom there, that skull with the red eyes is by Empire. And the ghost is not marked. I'm not sure who put that out. The tombstone with the zombie hiding behind it is by General Foam. And one thing, now anybody that collects these things or knows anything about them, you already know this, but I thought I'd mention it for people not familiar. The handles, if they're thick like that with metal rivets, they're the older ones. In general, the newer ones had the thin strip of plastic for a handle. It's like a plastic cord like that one. Now, I really like that because they reversed the colors on that. That's General Foam also. And it has the new type handle. I bought that with those others stacked up in that big pumpkin for $1 at Walmart, like, 6-7 years ago, whatever. And that Casper coming out of that pumpkin, I think that's Empire. The big haunted house blow mold is from General Foam. And those big blow molds, when you buy them now, the shipping eats you alive on them. And people want a lot for them too in general, so nothing's cheap anymore, especially not those. The blow mold black cat is a bank. Don't know who made that, but you can get them pretty cheap. I just thought it looked cool in the Halloween setup. And we'll go up and take a look at some of this stuff. That witch hanging there is from Dollar Tree. You can still get those. I think they're $1.25 now, but I really like the sculpt on the face. I think it looks cool. I like the colors. Not all cool monster toys have to be expensive. Some of the best ones are cheap. That little devil head hanging there, it's got a flicker eye or a lenticular eye. And that pendant there is a demon goddess pendant. And we go up here. Those two skulls there are candy toppers with flicker eyes. And that trident back there with the demonic face on it was put out by Ruby's, I think in the 90s. I just thought it looked cool. And I thought about getting maybe putting a handle on it, but it displays well like this and doesn't take up much room, so I just put it up like that. There are the 3 hitchhiking ghosts from the Haunted Mansion. And let's see. We'll hit the buttons on those. Yeah, those are pretty cool. You can set them up in different ways. They just connect together. And there are packaged Halloween clickers, the plastic ones, probably from the 80s, I guess. I like that Ben Cooper logo there on them, and I really like the graphics. So I figured I'd just display those in the package. You don't see them often in the package. You see a lot of loose ones for sale, but not packaged ones, or at least I don't. And let's go over these cutouts, or die cuts as some people call them. There's a couple of the small skeletons. These are all by Beasel. Beasel is the same company that put out the old ones, or one of the companies, probably the leading company that put out the old cutouts back decades and decades ago. And I bought these fairly recently, like 4 or 5 years ago, and they were pretty cheap. So if you want to enjoy the classic look of them and the graphics, you can just buy the new versions unless you want to go for the more expensive older ones, which are often slightly damaged. I thought about taking those out, but I don't know. I've got enough clutter in here as it is. If I tried to put those up separately on the wall, it would really clutter things up. So I just decided to hang them up in the packaging. I think they look fairly good like that, and they don't take up much room. There's another one of those little devil heads with the lenticular eye. Cthulhu Bank from Diamond Select. Let's go up here. That is a Basil Gogos print of Boris Karloff. It's actually signed and numbered. I just thought it, I love Basil Gogos. I love his covers for famous monsters, and thought I'd hang that print up there. And the long skull is called a spook stick. It's on a wooden stick. It's a blow mold skull, and I don't know who made it, but if I had to guess, I'd probably say Bayshore. If anybody knows, let me know, because I don't know. That rattle there, that metal noisemaker with the hot witch on it, it's made by Kershaw. Life of the Party. That's their Halloween line or whatever. They said Life of the Party on the packaging. I mean on the item there. Now the little skull back there is by Tycho Toys. It's got the smaller hole in the top and the bail or handle, and that is it's actually a lantern or a light up, because if they've got the smaller hole, it's meant to put a housing down in there that holds a light bulb and a couple of batteries, and you can, a kick, you carry it around and with it lit up that way. If it's got the bigger hole, it's a candy pail. Don't know who made that rattle right there. There's another one of those skull candy toppers with the lenticular, aka flicker eye. And there is a repro of the Glenn Strange Frankenstein Monster candy pail from 1964 by Clinton Plastics. Some people call it Clint Toys. And it's a repro. I bought that, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago from an eBay seller, and thought it looked cool, and I like the paint apps and everything and the color of it, knowing that I probably wouldn't own an original one, because I gave $100 for this. The original ones, broken ones, are like, I don't know, $600 or $700, and to get a nice one, you got to pay over $1,000, and I just don't pay that much for collectibles anymore, so I'll make do with this one. If I ever do find an original that I want to buy, I'll keep this because it displays well, I think. The three candy containers in there are not marked. Those tubes used to house little round beads of candy, and I really like that devil one there. And I would guess they're by Rosen. I don't know for sure. If anybody knows for sure, let me know. Another one of the little devils, or yeah, the devil heads with the flicker eye. There is a ratchet back there, another metal noisemaker of the witch. I think that's U.S. Metal Toy Company. And there's one of my favorite pieces. I love these plastic devil heads. It's a blow mold, and it's got the bigger hole cut in top, so it's actually a candy pail. Small, but it's a candy pail. There is the witch that is a rattle. It's got a wooden stick, and it's made by Bayshore. And there is another one of the devil heads. And that one is the version that's on the tube that was full of candy back in the day. Now, these are by Tyco Toys. These bigger devil heads are by Tyco Toys, which I think is probably a division of Rosen. I don't know for sure, but I think it is. And yeah, I just love those things. They're kind of expensive these days. And that is a Mexican bootleg devil candy pail right there. And that back there, that paddle, is another metal noisemaker. I think that's U.S. Metal Toy Company. Here's a couple more of the plastic devil heads. These are a little smaller. That one's got a gem eye. Don't know who made these. I'd say that probably Rosen was behind it somehow. It seems like they cranked out a lot of this stuff. There is the most recent one I bought. I love that one. It's got a lenticular flicker eye. It's got horns made from separate pieces of plastic. It's put in holes there. I just love the look of that thing and a patina on it. The horn is by U.S. Metal Toy Company. That little owl there, it's a light up. I think it's by Bayshore. And that rattle right there it's one of the newer ones, probably from the 60s. It's got a plastic handle. It is by U.S. Metal Toy Company. Creature Bank by Diamond Select. That's a fan piece there, that Creature rum bottle. The cover of that, the label of that is actually taken from the cover of the Dell Creature one-shot from the 60s. Some Rosbro candy containers, and they are part of Rosen. That's like another sub-brand of Rosen. And up here we have the companion piece to the Boris Karloff print by Basil Gogos. This one's Bela Lugosi, and it's signed and numbered as well. Love that Gogos. And then on the end here we have, hey, a blow mold pitchfork. And another one of those little flicker eye devil heads, those 2-inch ones. That hanging rubber jiggler type thing there, the skull with the bat wings, I don't know who made it. I don't know. I think they were made back in the 80s or 90s. They turned up sometimes, but not a lot. If anybody knows anything about that, let me know. I just thought it looked really cool, and I managed to finally get one for a decent price. You don't see them often now. That little skull right there has the googly eyes that roll around. And I don't know who made that exactly, but it's almost a dead ringer for the Wear a Weirdo skull, except it's not flat on the back. You know, it's got the that plastic necklace attached to it and everything. And there's the King Kong Wear a Weirdo. And all of those were made of soft plastic and they were flat on the back. And here we go up here. That is a French movie poster for La Marca del Hombre Lobo, which is Mark of the Wolfman, which is Paul Naschy's first movie, which came out in 1968. And here in the States, thanks to Sam Sherman, that's called Frankenstein's Bloody Terror. If anybody wants to get into that whole backstory, they can Google it. But okay, Sideshow Monster Bust Statues. And there is a lighted candelabra that I picked up. Kind of spooky looking. There is a Rotkin. I bought that at Party City about 12 years ago, and I don't know anything about them. I tried Googling it, couldn't find out anything. Anyway, it's called a Rotkin. It's made of foam hard to foam and painted, so it also lights up. It's got a housing in the bottom. I never did light it up because the housing gets hot and the foam, I think, might melt. So I don't know if that's a regional thing or what. Anyway, here is the Beasel hanging skeleton, classic. And I have fond memories of seeing those at school, like during fall festivals and stuff back when I was a kid. Here are a couple of hanging skeleton ghouls. And those two blow molds I bought at Cracker Barrel last Halloween. I thought they were, you know, they look pretty good, so picked them up. And there are 3 Rosen candy containers. Those are actually marked Rosen. They have tags on the back, and that's all the original candy in there. Yeah, eat that stuff. Anyway, yeah, those are probably from the 70s, I guess. And let's take a look at this. I know you got some glare there, but I'm trying to get around it. This is one of the Monsterville pieces sold at Target back in 2017. The Frankenstein windmill. Yeah, I like those a lot. That stuff was reasonably priced too. High quality. And there is a hanging devil by Retro A Go-Go. Blow mold scythe. Okay, here we have original art by Richard Harrison Green, his take on the Wolfman. And let's see, we go over here and yep, we're back to the big green skull. So that's all we're going to do for this one. This the part 2 of this overview is coming up next. The good stuff is upstairs.